No, I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it again. I'm going for you, Poison.
So here I am with Wafer from SSG Academy, the head coach. If I'm understanding you correctly, I know you have a patented SSG army of analysts and support staff. So are you the head coach, or is that kind of like a two in one in one thing with Smita?
No, I'm the head coach, basically.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So SSG Academy is a team we've seen before, but we also haven't seen before. The core is the one that you played with in playoffs of Stage 3 of Challenger League last year. But now with Snake and Mohes, why bring on those two players? Like, we've seen a lot of success. You guys went flawless through the group stage, so it's working. But why those two players in particular?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna say the exact same thing that I say to the league. Mohesi is just a beast. He has good comms. He's a beast. He's a good player. He has good skill.
Yeah.
And also he has the balls. To just
Yeah.
go for it. That's something that fits our style. And there was no free agent player that can do that. So
Yeah.
we picked him up because of that. Also Snake. I mean, Snake is just a beast. He was with Westgard for gaming already. So he's just a beast. And he already plays our playstyle. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good score actually. Yeah.
With the core being that old LG roster, this is essentially a run back of sorts because Element One is the new Tier Two, and LG was kind of slated as one of those teams to be in the finals, the grand finals of Challenger League last year. Like, is that in your mind at all that this is effectively like attempt number two, but this time we're actually going to get it, or is that just not even a factor?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Um, by the end of stage three, right when the playoffs came, I was working already with Astralis,
Oh, okay.
prepared for the six invitational. So
Yeah.
by the time of the playoffs, like these just take the head coach position. So I don't see it like it's like a rerun, because like I'm gonna be honest, I gained experience in Astralis. We also have like I talked with Callout, he also support me and show me some stuff that I'm including now on the team.
Yeah.
So I mean it can be counted as a rerun, but I just think we're gonna smash everything.
Yeah.
We're just gonna crank everything, we're just gonna win. We have the crank mentality. Now
Yeah.
we have the crank mentality, so we're
Yeah.
cranking.
When you messaged me and you said let's crank, I was like, oh, he's a real disciple of call out now. He's got the vocab. Speaking of call out, I am kind of curious how much influence he has on this team. Is he just like kind of doing coming in every now and again, or is he very hands on with this project? Because you hear a title like SSG Academy, we've never really seen a proper academy team in the sense of like a League of Legends academy team. Like
Yeah.
obviously we had Aerial Horizon, Aerial Academy, but that's like not the same.
No.
How much is Call Out influencing this team, if at all?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, of course, it influenced a lot, because we
Yeah,
have like, as I mentioned, like I gained experience from Astralis when I worked with him for the
yeah,
six invitational, right? Also, like at the beginning of the team, we all came on a talk, right? He made us like a prep of like what he believes like is the pattern methodology to work on, right? And he will leave us some tools, but
okay,
it's not like he is like every single day with the team or every single week. I do see like like maybe he doesn't account directly to the team, but I'm the one that he is being accountable to.
okay,
So I do really feel like it's like that. So
yeah,
at the end of the day, I mean, I have heard like people believe like Callout's like every single day with us.
yeah,
I just see it like it's not the reality. Of course, we have like, for example, I mean, we got some stuff from SSE and them, right? But like it's not like they are with us or something like that. I mean, I just think like that doesn't give like the merit to like thesis and Smitty doing the work and all of that. So but of course he influenced like at the beginning and everything that we're doing right now, as I stated since the beginning. Some of the stuff that we did in Australia, some of the stuff that they currently doing on SSE. we're kind of like doing kind of the same but our style. So I believe like we have our own culture, and that's one of the things that he talked to us in the beginning, right? Like
Yeah.
every single team has their own culture, his own environment. Like for example, if you think about the SSG, you think about something in a specific way, right?
Yeah.
So you think about LXE, you think the same. So that's what we're going to, and that's what we're doing right now. Basically, we have our
Okay.
own standards and all of that.
Yeah.
So we're using kind of the methodology from Callout, but in our way, basically.
Yep.
So,
So I did hear another
oh,
familiar
bueno.
name. Oh, yep.
Yeah.
So Thesis is, another person. Just all these. He's back from his stint with Mirage. How is it being working with Thesis again? This
I mean,
because
it's good. It's
Drip
good.
Drip spoke pretty highly of him when I talked to him when he was brought on to Mirage.
I mean, thesis is pretty good. I
Yeah.
do believe, like for example, the thesis is more like our counter guy.
Yeah.
Like we divide the stuff. So for example, I mean, in my case, I'm like we're all doing everything at the same time, but at the same time, like everyone has like their own stuff. For example, Smitty is the numbers guy.
Okay.
I mean, I do believe he's one of the best in the world for like numbers and all of that. Like the work that he does and everything is just proper. I don't know why he's not in pro league. Again, oh my
Yeah.
comments just like messing up right now.
Yeah. No
Sorry.
worries.
I think thesis is just like pretty good at his work because he's the counter analyst, right?
Yeah.
And he does like a lot of work and a lot of counter information, And based on that information the thesis bring on the table, we're able to do decisions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Maybe thesis work hasn't been like that impactful right now because like at the end of the day it's a BO1, so you cannot like look that much information or like have behaviors from certain people, right?
Yeah.
But there's little details that he says games, right, that help us to like understand how the other team is gonna be playing. And from that we can base our counter plan, and do our counter analysis and counter game.
Yeah.
So I think this is pretty good. I definitely think he's one of the best in the information gathering from the opposite team, right? But like, yeah, he's a beast, and
Yeah.
he's good. I'm really happy to work again with him.
Yeah. SSG is now guaranteed into playoffs. You breezed through, 3-0, as already mentioned. You're now in the best of three territory, kind of leapfrogging off of that, the impact that Thesis has. Like, how much prep is done to prepare for your opponents in these best of three matches versus just we're gonna play our own game, especially with this team, which is relatively free flowing, like with the whole microplay system and all that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Um, since now, right, and everything that we have played since now, right, we haven't like care too much about the other team. We just
Okay.
do our stuff. For example, I heard about Tweet's interview last
Yeah.
time that he was saying like, for example, I'm gonna give you a detail of how we prep, right?
Yep.
Like for example, he was saying like, yeah, we already knew that SSE were going to play like few aggro, so we just gave them the space, etc., right, and let them execute. For example, the prep for that game, we already knew it, and I since the beginning of the game, like I say it, like, yo, these boys are gonna give us too much respect. They're gonna give us respect without no sense, and we're just gonna have to get the map as soon as possible, and we're gonna be able to execute. That's kind of like the
Yeah.
prep we have right now. Those kind of like details, but not that kind of like big strat counter and all of that. Just
Yeah.
like kind of those behaviors that I do believe that they're gonna do right, and we just go for it. So for
Yeah.
example,
Not,
that's one of
nothing like countering a specific strat for a specific site. Nothing that
maybe
fine.
more about the tempo and
Yeah.
about what like that
Okay.
that things, maybe not that specific because at the end of the day, we have been doing a free ride.
Yeah.
Gonna be honest with you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. So I do want to talk a little bit about integrating the SSG main system. A lot of people have kind of said that SSG Academy looks like they're trying to copy or emulate SSG main in some ways. Like, how is that integration gone, or like do you even see it as you copying that SSG main style, or is it more just we're taking some aspects of the SSG main culture and ideas and applying it in our own way?
I mean, as I said, we of course we're taking like some ideas, some Italy and all of that, but like I mean, it's not like we're copying their strat or something like that,
Yeah,
It's like different thing. It's just like in my opinion, it's just like SSE main team has kind of like similar play style than us, It's more
yeah.
of a like micro plays take the gap and all of that, So we're kind of like the same thing, So it might seem like that, but like um no, as I said it, like we have our own culture, we're doing our own things with some of the tools that SSG bring to us, like Callout bring to us. But like, no, I don't believe like we're trying to be SSG main team. No.
Okay, yeah. Talking a little bit about the future, I don't think we know who your next opponent is technically because playoffs are the final matches are still going on today as of recording. But what are your thoughts of the upcoming opposition? Is this is where we get a little spicy about it? Like I know you said before it started that you wanna let loose a little bit. So this is your time to kind of tear into your upcoming opposition
I mean,
if you want.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't even know. I don't even care. I just care about the final. Just go to Poison and
Yeah.
just crank.
Do you
That's
do you
that's all
have
I care. Go to the
any
final.
do you have any opponents that you want to face? Like Aerial Arise is
Area,
kind of viewed. That's it.
area. That's it.
All right. Any expectations of like how that any prep or any thoughts on Aerial in particular, or just we're gonna come in,
Yeah,
smash them, leave.
we're gonna run, walk, shoot, win. That's it.
All right. That's a solid formula. So this is the part where we're gonna transition a little bit because I know you're a huge fan of Trash Talk. I'm a huge fan of Trash Talk. I think Trash Talk makes esports go round, and we play it a little too safe in the siege space. And I want to kind of pick your brain about that too because I get the sense you're in a similar boat. Like, what do you think Trash Talk brings to esports, and what do you think it brings to like a game like Siege?
Man, I just feel like this, okay? I just feel like people wants to be cool with everyone, and they
Yeah,
just want to say what everyone wants to hear and something like that. I don't really care. I mean, I don't know about the United States culture. I'm from Costa Rica. I'm Latino, so I just say what I think. And if I think your team sucks, I'm just gonna say it. I think we're just gonna smash you. We're just gonna all over you. That's my opinion, because that's make entertainment, just see like for example UFC fights, for example.
yeah,
Why the fights are like too high and all of that, because of the trash talk,
yeah,
Um but I do believe like there's limits, of course.
yeah. Of course.
There's limits. And also like for example, if you trash talk, it's because you gotta show it,
Yeah,
Um and I do believe like there's teams that can trash talk a little bit more, and there's like teams that are talking too much and doing too nothing basically.
yeah. Where do you think that line is? Where do you think that limit of where the trash talk should stop is?
I mean, it depends on the context, When you're starting like insulting or getting like too personal on someone,
Yeah,
I just think that's the limit, I just think like you gotta trash talk based on the sport environment,
yeah.
Uh,
So
I'm
keep
not
it
gonna
all in
say
the
like
game.
keep it up like based on the sport,
Yeah,
not personal. It's not like, for example, it's not like I think the line goes, for example, if someone tries to get with me just for being Latino, something like that.
yeah,
I think that's the line, if you're gonna judge me, you're gonna trash talk about me, I don't care. Just do it about my game and my results, I think
yeah.
that's the line.
Okay, yeah. And I don't know if you're familiar with Gears of War. Have you
Yeah,
seen any of those compilations of
yeah,
like the trash talking?
it's great.
Do you think we need to go a little bit more of
Yeah,
that direction, or do you think we're in like a good spot? I've seen in E1 like we're starting to see a bit more trash talk, and we're
yeah.
starting to see people talk their shit a little bit more. Do you think we're in a good spot? We need a little bit more or a little bit less? Like where do you think like trash talk in the scene goes from here?
I think we're on the way,
Yeah,
we just need to get a little bit more spicy, I don't remember who posted, but like it is true. Like for example, look, nobody on Rainbow Six has more than 100K followers in the entire EU league.
Yeah.
If you go back in the day, everyone has it. Why? Because it was entertaining. You see like people like Fabian, you see like people like Bango saying whatever the fuck they want. And they just say they just tweet it. They don't give a fuck. I think
Yeah.
that's what we need right now. I just think people doesn't care too much about socials, and they complain too much like about like how siege is. But like if you're a pro player, you gotta make these entertainment. And if you're not making entertainment, I mean, that's gonna happen. The views are gonna start slowing down. Everything's just gonna go back.
Yeah. Pardon.
I hope you're
So,
fine. Thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you. So with that, is there like, how do I want to phrase this? How do you think we inject, or what do you think we should tell players to kind of like start pushing them more towards being those entertainers? Because obviously, master your game first. Obviously, you're playing the game to compete as best you can. But like, outside of that, how do you make them? How do you tell them? How do you push them to be more entertaining, more of a personality, more of someone that people can get behind, not just in the server, but on social media, on a YouTube channel, and all that stuff.
Just start being you. I mean, and if you're in an esports, environment, and you're already in pro league, that doesn't mean you gotta stop grinding. I see like players that they are good on the social media when they are on T2 and stuff like that. They start tweeting, they start doing stuff. But afterwards, they just like stop doing stuff, because they already made it. They already won a pro league, so they start believing themselves like they are like they start believing. I see it like this. They start believing like they're famous or they're superstars or something like that. When I mean, just look where you came from. Never
Yeah,
forget that. And keep being you. Don't try to be what everyone wants to. Be yourself.
yeah, and I think it's in CS:GO where it's like a random pro player can turn on their stream and get like 2K viewers. I don't. We don't have that same draw in like Siege, which I think is kind of a testament to like, yeah, you're a professional player, but that doesn't mean that you have anything outside of being good at the game. And even then, like, what unless you're Shaiko, what's stopping you from being subbed out tomorrow for a different player, right?
Yeah. You're just someone else. At the end, everyone's replaceable. I see it like that. And so if you want to be here, you gotta like run up. And like in like for example, in my view, in my personal life, I'm kind of like investment.
Yeah.
So I do kind of like enterprises. So like for example, in my view, if I'm doing like an esports and I'm the owner of like of like a game. I would like my players to do entertainment. Because at the end of the day, that's where they get sponsorships. At the end of the day, that's why gets the league a little bit more high value. So I don't want to be in a league where like everyone's just like boring, in
Okay.
my opinion.
Yeah. And real quick, just as a final topic here, I want to pick your brain a little bit about some of the recent changes because there's been a lot, and they've been pretty controversial for in the eyes of a lot of people. Like, what are your thoughts? First off, on the Thorn 1.5. What do you think about that? Is it just like a nothing burger, or is there actual substance here?
I mean, of course, it changes. Because like I mean, now, I mean, I think Thorn's not that useful gadget. So I see
Yeah.
it kind of like a Alibi 2.0 or like Elysian 2.0 kind of. But I mean, it is what it is. We have it
Yeah.
right now, so we gotta adapt on it. I just think like it's not gonna be that useful if you're really playing on the strat space and all of that, or utility, and you want to have like a good utility or something like that. Might not be the best, in my opinion. But
Okay.
I just think it's like a mid top opener, in my opinion.
Okay.
Of course, just saying about like how impactful can be on the run, without taking into consideration the gun skill and everything of that, just like
Yeah.
front opener wise.
Yeah. And then the second part of this question is, of course, about the map pool changes. We're seeing Theme and Villa go out in favor of Nighthaven and Consulate. Let's start with the first part there. What are your thoughts on us losing Theme Park and Villa from the competitive map pool?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really care about Team Park.
Yeah.
Uh, But about Bila, I just think like I mean Bila is just one of those classic maps, you know. It's just like,
Yeah.
and I do believe like Bila is balanced, you know. So
Yeah.
don't really agree about the Bila change, you know. Um, but I mean, people complain that there's nothing new in the game. I mean, we have something new, so let's give it a try, you know, and stop
Yeah.
complaining.
And so, what are your thoughts about bringing in Night Haven and Consulate? Like, these are two maps that we haven't seen any competitive play on. They're completely new. You know, from a first glance or what you've done, what are your thoughts on these two maps coming in?
It's gonna be crazy. I'm just telling you, we are not gonna ban it. I'm just
Oh,
telling you, we're not gonna ban it. So if someone wants to bring it up, just go ahead, do it. It's your time. I'm telling you, we're not gonna ban it. So if you don't ban it, we're gonna pay it. That's it.
all right. And just to close out here, final thing, Wafer, I'm gonna give you the platform. Is there anything you want to say to your friends, your enemies, your future opponents, whoever it is? Let her rip.
No, I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it again. I'm going for you, Poison. That's it. I'm just gonna say it.